Shoot. Copy. Jamal Adams, what is good? All right, I forgot to put my headset in. And by the way, Jamal Adams, you are first. Arian Drake, what is up? Give me a second to tweet this out, and we will get underway. Don't call me Danny. What is up? Okay, let's get underway with the introductions. Yo, yo, what's good? It's your boy Lincoln Clay coming back at you with another live stream. Let's all be one cohesive unit and hit the like button to help spread the content to a wider audience. Make sure you hit the bell icon so you can stay notified whenever I put out new content. I would appreciate it as well. And if you are a new subscriber, welcome to the channel. I hope you are enjoying the content. In the zone, what is up? Arian Drake, don't call me Danny Jamal. In the zone, what is up, everybody? So, to my delight, I woke up this morning to find out that I hit 300 subs, and I want to thank everyone who supported this channel. I really appreciate it. And I said it a while ago that even when I hit 100 subscribers, my channel had far exceeded my expectations because all I ever wanted was to have enough subscribers that whenever I go live, I can have a conversation in the chat. And that's where I'm at right now, and I really appreciate it. So thank you to everybody for that. And to show my appreciation, I plan to do a giveaway this week, and it won't be any of that like that Destiny 2 bullshit that nobody wants. Um, this week for a giveaway, I will do. I will either give away a digital copy of Spider-Man. Geico, what is up? I appreciate it. Thanks a lot. Ryan, the professional, thanks a lot. I really appreciate it. I really do. Again, as I was saying, this week I will give away a digital copy of Spider-Man, or I will give away like a $50 PSN card or like a Xbox card, whichever they want. Area Drake, thanks a lot. Vid Kid, I really appreciate it. Thanks, everybody. Um, you know, hell, I said it before, 300 subs, but I feel like I got 30,000, the overwhelming support I get on this channel. I really appreciate it, and I'm really fortunate that some of my favorite YouTubers are also my good friends too. I really appreciate that. Craig Harris, what is up? Um, Craig Harris or Ryan, would either of you two like to come in? Jamal Adams, what is up? Because when I get to the other subject, Savage Yuger, what is up? Well, what is going on? I appreciate it. Thank you. So after I talk about this X-thot, there's probably not going to be much to talk about because I didn't really see too many subjects worth talking about. But so to move on to that subject, um, Dog, what's up? We all know about the Bethesda situation with them trying to issue an ultimatum to Sony. I guess what I took from it was that yeah, that it was an ultimatum issued across the board, but the writer basically pressured him into saying that that yeah, it was aimed at Sony. Okay, I'll send you a link. I appreciate it, Ryan. Copy. Let's go to put on my list of people here. Give me a second, gentlemen. I'm scrolling through the Twitter so I can send these links out. Ah, damn it. I hate it when I do that, when I scroll down. And then as soon as I let go of it with the cursor, it pops back up to the top. There's one for you, Mr. Harris. And we got one coming up for Ryan the Professional. Cool. There you go, gentlemen. Look forward to seeing you in here. So while Ryan and and if Craig decides to come in, while they are on their way, so how they make threats with damn, euchre. I think that's what you meant to say, Area Drake, with a euchre card game. So, a well-known X-thot gave his take on the Bethesda situation, and when I listened to the video, he started out sounding very, very neutral. He does understand that from a business perspective, it doesn't make sense for Sony to do crossplay because, we know that it will stifle sales. So he did point that out. He also pointed out that that Bethesda is making threats with a free-to-play card game. This, for the most part, appears to be a mobile game that, in my opinion, was never going to come to the PlayStation platform in the first place. Something like that. I just don't really believe it was going to come to the PlayStation platform to begin with. I just think, I said it before that I think Bethesda, this guy was white knighting for Microsoft.
Yo.
What is good?
Not much going on.
Not much. I want to start by thanking you for increasing the volume on your video this morning.
I went to the old mic.
Okay. It was very clear. So very good video. Thank you very much, sir.
He's telling me that. I'm like, damn. So let me find out my new mic wasn't worth the investment, but decided to go back to the old one.
Oh, okay. Spartan guy, what's up? I just figured it was a simple situation of you just increasing the volume from probably from the computer's EQ.
And sometimes it'll sound distorted when I turn my mic crazy high. It's kind of like we turn like the bass like a song, you can barely hear the clarity.
Okay. I got you.
Yeah.
So before I go any further about this X-thot that I'm talking about, it is somebody that you are friends with and someone that you have a lot of respect for.
Oh boy.
So this person gave their take, and it sounded very, very neutral. But then he took a shot at the YouTubers that lashed out at Bethesda and was like, went into a high pitched voice. Who is Bethesda to threaten Sony? And so when he said that, I assumed that he was probably referring to a few YouTubers that I know. I didn't include myself in that because I'm such a small channel that I'm he probably doesn't even know I exist. So maybe I was included in that, maybe not. It doesn't really matter. But
who is it?
One Mr. Thor.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, not surprised by that. I mean, he is a diehard Xbox supporter.
I have a little more definitive term for him, but I'll leave it at that. But
I will say this about him compared to the others, to the ones that you normally see me either debate or destroy.
Yeah.
He's one of the better YouTubers in terms of that particular side. But I do agree sometimes he does go off the deep end and say some stuff, mostly to, I guess you can say, add a little bit of hype or a little bit of faith back into that platform when it doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
So he does do that sometimes. But
the biggest thing that I criticize him for, I don't really criticize him in the sense of saying that he's a corporate slave. I criticize him in the sense that whenever Microsoft, takes heat and they deserve it, that sometimes he'll sidestep it.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think he goes out like Crap Swallower, who's probably the biggest Phil Spencer ball holder of them all. So
okay. I understand. I mean, now, are you really surprised by this stuff? I mean, it's going to happen regardless. These dudes don't have nothing to play. There's nothing to talk about. There's nothing to really look forward to. You notice that Gears of War 5 got swept under the rug already. Nobody's talking about that. Nobody's talking about the games that were shown at E3. Everybody's going quiet, silent. So that's all they got to link onto.
I mean, that's no surprise that stuff died down because the majority of everything they showed was third-party games. So after you strip away all the third-party stuff, what was left? It was exclusive.
Pretty much. So they really, they had nothing else to latch onto, and it's led us down this road where everybody's going to be silent. Everybody's not going to talk. So now that we're here, it's only going to get worse before it gets any better. And you saw my previous video or my new video. You see the lies. The hype has already started again, similar to that of the Xbox One X. So it's going to be the same shit with the new Xbox.
Wow. And that was a pretty slick move by Phil Spencer by letting everybody know that, hey, new stuff is on the way. It's going to take a while. Oh, but by the way, here's some new consoles coming out too.
They did that. Yeah. Well, that was the plan all along, to sell you hardware. That's what he wants. That's all he wants to do, is just sell you hardware. He don't want to give you games. So
yeah, that's crazy. And also I had pointed out that someone said that a while back, that is kind of crazy how like HDR support, all it took was for Sony to send an update through for the vanilla PS4 to support HDR. But in the case of Microsoft, they had to create a whole new console for it.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that was something that they weren't thinking about when they created the original Xbox One, or was that another stunt to sell you another console where they just basically created a whole new console just to add update to it. Spartan God, you said that
you bought the brand new Xbox just with the promise of X amount of things. You know what I'm saying? You bought that just for promises. You thought you were going to get 4K 60. You thought you were going to get the best, value and the best games and the best performance. And as you clearly can see, you're not even getting half that.
No, which is why in the beginning, when the Xbox One X first launched, I was understanding of those who bought the console, believing that there was going to be content coming down the road. So I excused those people who bought the console day one, even though there were still signs, even though there was still some smoke in the air that no, ain't shit coming. But now anyone who buys a Xbox One X today, they know what they are getting themselves into.
Right. And that's true. That's why they showed off older games they can easily, port and get optimized, like Rise of the Tomb Raider. They didn't show nothing brand spanking new that really showed out the power. And it's like, we're not really buying these consoles for old games. And that's the case. We should be all on PC. And that's where you saw, well, I don't think you saw that video, did you? Where I literally just went at it with this fool because he said people who like God of War are schizophrenic.
I was in that podcast with you.
I don't think so. Were you?
Yeah, I was in there. I came in there and I just happened to come in there right at that point. And then I think I left shortly after that because I was like, oh my God, Carlos Fernandez, what is up?
What's up, Chilos? But nah, I thought it was me and Craig in there. But
I might have
podcast.
Maybe, I think I was in there, but I can't say for sure 100%, because now I've been in so many podcasts now that it's just starting to turn into a blur now.
Yeah. But to recap what he said people are not hyped for God of War. The only people who are talking about God of War are schizophrenic.
Yeah, yep. And then he turned around and admitted that his wife or somebody was looking forward to God of War.
Yeah, he said his wife is schizophrenic. That's why he's buying it for his wife. And I'm like, bro, really?
Unbelievable. That was if that wasn't an oxymoron, I don't know what was.
He came out of nowhere and said that, Xbox has 400 games, guys. 400 games. I'm like, what? What 400 games?
Exactly.
And he said, yeah, I'm like, let me guess, backwards compatible games? And he's like, no, they're not backwards compatible. I'm like, I'm sorry, but did 400 exclusives come out this generation for the Xbox?
Unbelievable.
I don't remember 400 games coming out for the Xbox. Maybe the Messiah can enlighten me. Did 400 games come out for the Xbox One this gen?
I don't. that sounds a little high.
It's just a little high, doesn't it? Especially
the exclusive wise. Hell no.
Yeah, well, no, not exclusively. No, I mean, I'm not saying that they don't have I think each console has over 1,200 games, but
you got a point, Carl. He disappeared. He never came back. And I think the Messiah know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
What was it, Drakord? What's his name? Drakord?
Oh, yeah.
What's that?
Well,
name?
they've
Drakord something?
Yeah, they just there's nothing left to say.
Yeah.
I think the game that really broke their backs was Horizon Zero Dawn. Digital Foundries declared that game the best game this gen.
I do. From all
barriers. Yeah, use of shadowing and HDR and they said nothing really rivals that game. And then they have Spider-Man is coming out, and it's just there's nothing left to really say. Sony's at 500 million consoles, sold total. It's coming out, and it's over. That's a beaten group at this point. When you're talking about and shout out to Matt's Gaming, the YouTuber. When poor Matt's Gaming puts out a video where Rockstar says that the Red Dead trailer was in 4K and it's been confirmed it's going to be in 4K on the Pro. When you have people arguing in his comment section, well, is the Xbox says it's going to look better, it's going to be native 4K, it's going to be better, and it's going to be fake 4K, and people are over there literally trying to tell those guys that, look, it's true 4K. And according to Microsoft, it doesn't matter. As long as it hits 2160p, it's considered true 4K. And there's nothing left at this point for them to really talk about, all except that let me bring this up. They ran to Shadow of the Tomb Raider and Red Dead because those are supposed to be the games that define the generation. These are going to be the best games this generation.
Yeah, it's not The Last of Us Part 2. It's not a Spider-Man. It's not a Days Gone.
Speaking of this Red Dead situation, it appears to be a little bit of hypocrisy there. And this came from Colt Eastwood of all people. Remember the heat that Sony took when they advertised the Anthem trailer and the PlayStation button prompts were mapped over the Xbox layout?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it turns out Microsoft did the same thing with Red Dead Redemption. It turns out that they ran a Red Dead Redemption trailer with Xbox prompts, overlaid over the top of a PlayStation layout.
You got the video, like actual video for it?
No, I haven't seen it. I just like, when the title of Colt Eastwood's video said Rockstar and Microsoft lied, I'm like, okay, I'm not terribly surprised that he called Rockstar a liar, but why the hell is he calling Microsoft a liar when he's one of their biggest X-thots? So I said, let me look into this.
I mean, because they milked the cow for what it's worth. Now they're trying to branch out.
What did they allegedly lie?
So now his take on it was he's still an X-thot though, because his take on it was that, that it made sense for Microsoft to do that because Rockstar isn't going to go create two separate trailers, one for the PlayStation and one for the Xbox. So he was like, this is the business. That's the way it is. That's, the way it happens, blah, 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 but God knows how much heat, Sony took when it happened on Anthem.
Yeah, see, that's why I didn't take that dude seriously, Carlos. He said they've only released Halo, Gears, and Forza, and Cuphead and Sea of Thieves. Yep.
He said flop of thieves.
Or flop of thieves.
State of delay. I call it state of dookie.
But yeah, no, he's true though. That is true. That's all they release for this generation. But my man was saying 400 games. I'm like, bro, stop. Just stop.
Well, right. A little bit closer. That Quantum Break was over there too. So
Quantum Break.
But nah, they don't. I don't know what they lied about. It's the game will be on the Xbox. If Red Dead 1,
I mean, that's the first on a dev kit.
Yeah, well, if Red Dead 1 is running at 4K.
No, I'm saying, most likely, like you said, the buttons are mapped over, so it most definitely was a dev kit then.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
That's how
Well,
dev kits work. It's a PC. They can map the buttons to whatever they want.
Mm-hmm. J Dog, what's up? Thank you, and Andre 6K Cyber Dragon, thank you as well. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, I think that the fact it's running 4K is what's hurt. That hurt them. They did not think that the Pro because they have told themselves that the PlayStation Pro can't do any 4K anything. So that's why they bought the Xbox. So now they're really starting to realize that, damn, even when that new console, that Chinese console came out, based on the specs that Eurogamer put out, I'm like, well, it's not as powerful as an Xbox, but it's going to render games better. So, and it's going to be the world's most powerful console. So it's like, okay,
funny vid, but I got that coming up today, so that's gonna be funny. So, but it's whole nonsense.
I'm actually disappointed that console's not coming to America.
Which one?
Well, it is called PlayStation 5. You're basically all they're getting is a miniature version of the PlayStation 5.
Still, we needed another player in this console business.
Okay. Well, I see what you're saying.
You know, while they're trying to rise up against Sony and try to force them into crossplay, I think we need some other players in this game to try to flush Microsoft out of here, because they don't have any intentions of trying to provide quality content to their fan base. So I mean, myself, why are you hanging around? You know, if you're gonna be a restaurant that serves bullshit food, if we can't get the health inspectors to get you out of here, maybe people not coming to the restaurant will eventually make them leave.
Yeah. Well, you got to understand, you're dealing with a group of people who were saying things like, people were going to leave the PlayStation ecosystem because the games are we're going to look so much better on the Xbox. Now to hear him say, oh, well, the best experiences on gaming this generation are not on Xbox or on PlayStation. It's the same guy, within a calendar year has said this. So that guy was D-Batch, for anybody who doesn't know. So
the smartest dumb fool in the
yeah.
There you go. So, that's the summary. He's the smartest dumb fool in the crumb set.
Yeah, and it's so it's those guys that are really like I said, if I said months ago, I said they need to shut up and play their games, because there's people laying in the bushes to call them out on their bullshit. And right now, that's what's happening. They're being filleted in their own bullshit. And there's nowhere they can run or hide at this point. There's just nowhere to go. And they've got – I never thought they would run to Shadow of the Tomb Raider, which may very well be a great game for all I know. But they're saying that how come nobody's talking about that game? It's like, no, people are talking about that game, it's just not right now. They're not, but they will, probably in another week or two. You'll start, because they had 20 minutes of gameplay today on the PlayStation.
So somebody, fill me in with this Tomb Raider thing. Is this a timed exclusive, or is it coming out on both consoles?
It's on every platform, bro.
So, but it sounds to me like, the Xbots are calling out on this game, saying it's going to kick Spider-Man's ass or some shit like that, as if it's some kind of Xbox exclusive.
Yeah, I know it's a multi-plat game,
but that's what I've been taking from it. They act like it's an exclusive,
because apparently in their minds, all you need is multi-plats. You don't need true exclusives. Which, again, I don't know who came up with that mindset. I don't know what triggers that mentality, but that's their mentality. They believe that you don't need exclusives no more. You just need, multiplats.
But yet they start crying every time one of these Sony games get close to release.
Or when a game, they want to play is a Sony exclusive, like Spider-Man. Now, answer me this. They knew Spider-Man was going to be exclusive from the jump, but they wait till it gets close to releasing to start crying about it being exclusive. It's like, dog, y'all like hypocrites.
Well, I don't think they actually knew. The way the stuff that they're saying, because I've said that before, it's like either they didn't know or they just didn't pay attention.
I think it's more along the lines of them not paying attention, because keep in mind, when they first revealed Spider-Man, along with God of War and all the other exclusives that we're playing now, that was about 3 years ago. And then Phil Spencer jumped up and told him, "You don't want that shit. It's 3 years. It's 3 years out in the single player. You don't want that." So he took their minds off of that shit.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
you got to give Phil credit, though.
Yeah, I mean, Sean Layton said it was going to be in 2016 at E3. I'm like, you all need to watch 2016 E3. Sean Layton clearly said, "Here's an exclusive, a true exclusive." But I think they told themselves, because it was Spider-Man, that it was going to be a multi-plat game. Because boy, oh boy, it shook them hard.
Yeah,
you know, it was Harlem Shake.
It's crazy. That conference showed the less amount of everything, but they still walked away with impact. It's crazy. Yeah. This was, I'm gonna show one more true exclusive, and I'm gonna get out of here. I'm like, oh damn. I'm like, damn. Showed off 4 games. Had 1 or 2 reveals that you showed off a new setting for Days Gone. After that, you showed the Spider-Man. I was like,
damn. When they revealed Spider-Man, it was like, by the time I saw Spider-Man, I had saw all the other stuff. So I was like dizzy from spinning around in circles. Like, which one of these do I want first? So it was.
Yeah. Well, it's crazy how far that
I'm
game.
Loving it.
Yeah. Remember when we first saw it at that E3 with the orchestra? We didn't really see gameplay. We just saw a bunch of situations he was in when he was doing the parkour elements and jumping out the windows.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the set piece, we was like, damn, okay, this is gonna be lit looking at it. And then we finally get the gameplay, and all of us, we just can't stop talking about it. So just goes to show, man, the power ain't in the hardware, it's in the talent. It really is.
Yeah,
exactly.
I think
that's why they're running to
yeah. But for people to think just because Microsoft is now buying developers or third-party devs, they think that's going to fix anything. It's not going to fix anything. They're still under your direction. You have to guide them to create the best experiences. And they're not on that mindset. They're on the mindset of making them services. So the DLC is going to hurt these games.
And I truly believe that these studios that Microsoft picked up are going to be put. I think some of them are going to be put on a very tight budget. And I think that's going to, what's the word I'm looking for? Hinder their progress. Yeah. So I guess to put it simply put, I think because Microsoft is going to give some of these studios a very stingy budget, there's going to be more state of decay type games on the way. Because I think these people
you're gonna get a sequel to that regardless. They bought the developer, so
yeah. So I think these people were brought in for the sole purpose, basically, to make $3 games to throw on Game Pass.
Yeah. Let me ask you a question in chat. How would y'all feel if y'all got a State of Decay sequel before y'all even got a Rise, 2 or Rise sequel or a damn Alan Wake sequel? You know what I'm saying? You say you don't want either?
Yeah. Well, they just think the reason they're running to those multi-plat games is to because they desperately want to be able to say the best version of this game is over here. You need this system to play this game that looks like this, and it's just kind of where they're arguing over fake 4K and what's real 4K and what checkerboarding is versus what they didn't know that games that were checkerboarded 4K were actually hold the 2160p buffer through cloning of native pixels versus a dynamic 4K that constantly swings resolution. And I had to blow up somebody over there on that shit. Just blew him up, and it's like this is the problem. They don't know this, and then they get into debates, and then they get their pants pulled down in the debates.
It seems like they only follow a certain pattern. It's like they want zombies, they want shooters, and action. That's it. There's no diversity in their decisions when it comes to these games. That's why, them getting the developers from God of War and whatever, it's I'm happy for you, but I'm not really excited until I see, what I'm saying, at least some what you got, what you're going to do.
I can't help but to wonder if he jumped out of the frying pan and into the fire by going over there.
I mean, it's not like he doesn't have like one thing I know is about Sony. It's like they have like that open door type of policy shit. It's like they don't give a shit. Like you're always welcome back without no problems. Remember Kojima when he went to Microsoft at the start of this gen? He was welcomed right back home to Sony with open arms. So I don't think there ain't gonna be no hard feeling type of thing. I just think some decisions.
And they're getting promotion. I think we got to really remember that they're going from a lot of these people are going from junior positions at one company, and they're going to senior or lead positions on these other companies. So, I mean, a friend of mine works for Apple proper, not the Apple store. He just took a job at Oracle. Again, this is Apple. This is a gazillion-dollar company. You know, so and he is leaving because instead of him being a junior lead, he is going to be a senior executive over at Oracle. So he's getting a promotion, he's getting a company car, so he's leaving. It's not like he's saying go kick rocks. Apple is garbage, so he's just going to a different job. So, but they're bragging. I mean, but Ryan, what about when people were looking at LinkedIn saying Microsoft is hiring for this type of game, an open world game? Like, goddamn, you all are combing the friggin' want ads at this point. I mean, this shit is pathetic.
You know what my personal favorite will always be, and I'll never forget it or get over it. When they said they were going to buy Valve, when they said they were going to buy Valve and Steam, I'm like, do you guys understand how stupid you sound right now? Valve ain't selling a damn thing to Microsoft. If anything, Microsoft is selling to Valve.
No, I wanted to get that in real quick before we got away from that subject. That I think, I think they need to stop that yap about the best versions of third-party games being on the Xbox One X. Being that I feel that console is inconsistent because just because this game had a better frame rate or a better resolution doesn't mean it's going to happen.
I see.
Yeah, it's not. It doesn't mean it's going to happen with the next game because we've seen we've seen one game perform better than the Pro, but then the next game come along and have screen tearing and frame drops.
Yeah, gameplay you saw on my my latest video, Clay. It was running at 144 frames.
That was a Resident Evil one.
No. The fucking Gears of War.
Oh, I didn't see Gears. I saw you doing Resident Evil 4.
Well, I'm not gonna.
You didn't see my new video, did you?
Well, I listened to it. Because when I'm at work, I listen to it. I can't watch it.
Yeah.
So
yeah, but the gameplay is Gears of War 5. That's running at over 144 frames per second.
Damn.
And you can see the game is just smooth. It's more relaxed. You know what I'm saying? That's something that the X should be providing, such a console with X amount of things, right? Well, it's not doing that, and it won't do those things. So that's the problem.
Jackknife wants to know, can Red Dead 2 really run 4K on PS4 Pro? According to the reports, it's running 4K. So that's all we can say. According to the reports, it's running 4K.
I mean, just looking at the respect, or not the respect, but the amount of money they made off of PlayStation anyway, they're gonna definitely make sure it at least runs at 4K on the PS5 or PS4.
Makes a lot of sense, and we know that the majority of the copies are going to sell on the PS4 as well.
Yeah, they're not going to gimp one for the other. And that was another argument that kind of made me and Craig here scratch our heads every time we went to podcasts or we guest star for podcasts. But dudes actually thought just because this console didn't come out, people were going to jump to Xbox because they believe that developers are going to choose one over the other. It's like, no, they go where the money is. This console is still underwhelming in terms of sales. Sales did not pick up at all. People did not go and buy Rise of the Tomb Raider again because of the X. None of that happened. So I don't understand why people thought that.
Yeah, and it's on Game Pass, and it looks you put it in the 4K mode and HDR, and you set your TV. You can go online, and there's different people that'll tell you where to set different things. The game looks stunning. I mean, it's a 4K native game, but you're right, Ryan. When it came out on the place, there's still stuff on the PlayStation version that's free that you have to pay for on the Xbox. whether it be the outfits or the 2 DLCs I think that came out for it. You got to pay. It's not expensive. It's like $4, but it's like, God damn, I can get the game in the year version and just get everything. So it's just crazy. So
that's crazy, man.
It's crazy.
I will not be picking that game up day one. It's just going to be a wait and see thing.
It's like I won't be picking up Anthem. I gotta wait and see how they treat Anthem.
Exactly. Well, that's game.
I thought you were all in on Anthem, Ryan.
I was until I just see the bullshit. I don't know. I'm just not.
to me, the game
gave me a wake up call because you see Call of Duty and the lack of just effort in terms of like content.
The game resembles Destiny too much for me.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, Craig. They literally split up everything. They got 6v6 modes and 5v5 modes. Now, explain to me where in the history of like where in the hell does 5v5 even mix in Call of Duty?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Where how do you?
I'm not.
You say that's innovation where you go from 6v6 to 5v5? That's not innovation. That's going backwards.
Yeah, but that's a game that is. Damn! I almost put my foot in my mouth myself.
Under called me hypocrite though, Craig. He said that was wrong for you. He's like, Ryan, you don't know. They're doing everything right. I'm like, motherfucker, they're using the same engine since fucking 1933.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I had no plans of buying this
right. He's
game.
like, no, here's the excuse though. You're gonna love this. He's like, okay, it used to be new, but it's not new. I mean, it's 30% new. I'm like, what?
What?
It's either new or it's not. Exactly. It's either new or it's not. Why are you giving percentages of how much new it is? It's either new or it's not.
Yeah. It's like a girl saying, I'm a little bit pregnant.
You either are or you not.
Yeah, either you are or you're not. It can't be a little bit.
Yeah, that's a good one right there. Simply Deep, what's up?
Oh yeah, what's up, Simply Deep?
I can't, bro. I can't.
So no, but I think we can officially like say that they did kind of. This is Sony really shut them down with their game lineup. That, like I said, Detroit Become Human, great game, looks great. God of War, my goodness gracious, it looks great game, looks great gameplay, looks great.
Sony did something right when they broke Black Bond, because Sony broke Black Bond this gen. That's my homie. I talk to him every day. So if he watches this, he knows. Yeah, shout out to Black Bond. But they broke Black Bond. What did he say? What did he say, Craig, on Twitter? He said God of War is one of the best games ever. It's a masterpiece. Huh? They broke him. They broke.
Oh, okay. You mean they broke his will, huh?
They broke that fool. He said that's a masterpiece. That was one of the best games I ever played.
That's what's up.
I mean, I was playing it. That's the first God of War I played. I'm like, man, this is a really good game.
Oh, you never
that's all I was saying.
Hey,
no, I never had a PS3. I always had it. I
missed out on God of War 3, which set up God of War 4. Oh God.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Now, Daniel and Drake said Anthem looked good so far. It might be a good game.
Anthem looks great. I just not like. How do I explain this? I'm just not really like. I don't have faith that they'll do it justice. That's the perfect words for it. I don't have faith they'll do it justice, because that's like me saying the same thing about Ubisoft, like Skull and Bones. The game that killed Sea of Thieves. Skull and Bones is a blast to play. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of context to the game. Customization, everything you can do.
Whoa. You said it's a blast to play, and you've already sampled it.
So what?
You talking about Skull and Bones or Sea of Thieves?
Oh, Skull and Bones.
Well, no, he said it looks like it's a blast to play.
Okay.
I
misunderstood you. I was like, whoa. You played it? Shit, fill me in.
Oh no, not yet. I wanna play. I signed up for the beta, but I'm not sure if I'll get into it, because I signed up for the beta for one of their last games that came. I think it was The Crew. I never got a message or anything like that. So I mean, they're a little picky when it comes to their beta codes. Last beta I played was like For Honor. So
yeah, I think that's the last beta I played.
Yeah, For Honor was actually a cool concept. To be honest, though, I wouldn't mind if, like, you would think EA would take notes from For Honor and incorporate that into Star Wars. But, of course, they don't care about Star Wars. So the combat is just you hitting each other with the damn lightsabers, which is stupid.
Well, I got my fingers crossed for the Respawn Star Wars because they're taking on a pretty a nice era of time in the Star Wars universe. So I'll keep my fingers crossed for that. But I like Battlefront 2, but I just liked it for the story. I did not get that game for the online. I wanted to see what happened.
That's definitely understandable. The visuals and the story are amazing. I will give them that. But it's just after that, they just lost me completely with the online play. You know, everything just went, what was this? And you know what's crazy too? Half the stuff people are giving them praise for is shit that they cut out from the last game. It's like, why are you praising them for stuff that should have been in the last game? I don't get it. Galactic Conquest should have been in the first one. Space Battle should have been in the first one.
I'm not gonna lie. I did like when the game first came out. I played the shit out of it, but once they sent that update through. And they compromised the class that I was using. I was done with it.
Yeah. Yep. They don't care, man. They don't care. Every character would have taken you like what, $400, something like that. That's what do estimated. Like every character would be like $400 in microtransactions to get like upgrade to max. I'm like, who the fuck are they fooling? I'm not getting this shit. I'm not spending that money into this fucking game.
Yeah, my big issue was like I was using the heavy class, and when you use that minigun to basically spray everything, normally the gun fired for like 20 seconds, 25 seconds, and they ran an update through, and then the minigun only fired for about 5 seconds. So I was like, at that point, it's not even worth carrying
the pistol, the damn pistol. You should have seen that fucking pistol in the beta form. Oh my god, I'm talking about the burst one. When you get that shit where you have rapid fire and like I think it's this thing where it adds additional burst shots to it. You shred through people like it's a damn tank, like it's a shotgun or some shit. It's crazy.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I was like taking people away from like crazy distances with that damn pistol. I was like, this pistol's OP as fuck right now. Like, but I was sitting there dropping them and I had Darth Maul like super fast. And you claimed I was hacking. I'm like, no, not hacking. That this game's broken. So.
Yeah, that was one of the things that irked me about Call of Duty is somebody being able to take me out with a handgun faster than I can get them with an automatic rifle.
I'll get used to it because it's still a thing in Black Ops 4.
So
they ain't going nowhere.
I'm going to take a look at it in a sense that I bought it for my son and for the Xbox, and because of the game share, it's on my Xbox as well. So I mean, I don't think I'm going to like it, but I'm still going to take a look at it for 3 seconds, just like I did with World War II. I played that for about a whole 5 minutes and I was done.
Yeah. I don't know. I like to see them even feel like there's substance to Call of Duty anymore.
Yeah. I like Medal of Honor. Bring back Medal of Honor. That's what I'm waiting on.
That's what I want to play. I want to play no Medal of Honor. Maybe no Dino Crisis.
Yeah. Shit, but yeah, this guy Jackknife Elite Dangerous on the Pro is 4K. I've played hundreds of hours of it, so it is 4K.
Hell, at least give me a decent 4K. 007 game.
Yeah, that would be good too. That would be good. That would be a good game for a studio to take on. Guess who owns that character?
It was the last one we got a real good 007 game from, and as it's hard for me to say that. They are responsible for that game. They were responsible for Nightfire. Nightfire was lit. So a lot of shit you can do with Nightfire. There was a lot of cool substance to the game. And after that, it just like they fell off like heavy.
Yeah.
That's what I would like to say, Jake Geico. Yeah. Just remaster Nightfire or Nightfall.
Nightfall.
Yeah, Nightfall too.
You know, the last time I played a 007 game,
GoldenEye,
before that, it was on the Atari 5200.
Damn.
Oh God.
Hey, keep in mind, Craig, I'm 51 years old, man.
I'm just saying, man, that brought back memories. I remember seeing that game. Like at Sears. I mean, that's going way back in time when Sears was still around. I remember walking to the electronics department and seeing that on the Atari 5200. Wow. Oh, boy, that brought back memories.
Oh, shit, man. You talk about when I got that, I'll never forget that day that I opened that box up for Christmas. and I saw that Atari 5200 in there, and it was in a big ass box too. You know, it was in a box damn near the size of a suitcase.
Yeah, that's how the OG Xbox was. That box was ridiculous. If y'all didn't know, that damn box was huge as fuck when you get your Xbox.
Yeah.
What's up,
I had
Ian?
one.
What's up, Ian?
What's up, Ian?
What's up, Ian?
But that shit was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Them boy, oh boy. A lot of memories from back then too, and I
just
think
remember when gaming was fun when you had that anticipation when you get your box, you know, you get home and you're eagerly waiting to open it.
Yep. You know what? You know one of the
now, doesn't it?
You know one of my favorite games that was on the Atari 5200 was Mario Brothers. This was before that was before they created their own console. This was I think this was the second game they created right after Donkey Kong when they first introduced Luigi. That was the game where you had to drop those steel beams on Donkey Kong's head.
Yep.
So yeah,
What's
that
up,
was boy, I had a lot of fun with that. Getting these dumbbell flies in before work. You better than me, man. I do not work out before I go to work because it taxes the shit out of my body. So there's no way I'm going in and put in the kind of intense workouts I do and then turn around and work for 10 hours. I have to do it after work.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes on the nights when I don't have to work the next day, sometimes I'll get up and go to the gym at 3 a.m.
So,
but hey, hats off to you for being able to get it in before you go to work. And tell them OBJ, anyone who's even thinking about getting rid of their PlayStation Pro 4 and Xbox One X is one dumb motherfucker.
sure.
In my OBJ voice.
Oh hell no! She one left, man.
Mm-hmm. So to do a little recap, Craig, Mr. Randall Thor gave his thoughts on the Bethesda situation. He was pretty neutral about it and breaking down the nuts and bolts of the situation. And he is understanding that from a business perspective, it doesn't make sense for Sony to do crossplay. And he is also understanding that that a card game isn't gonna, frighten Sony. So that part was all fine and dandy, but then he took a shot at people who lashed out at Bethesda. Who is Sony to tell, who is Bethesda to tell Sony what to do? So yeah, he took some shots.
Yep.
Well, it's like I said, I mean, if there's a groundswell of of people, I don't know. Matter of fact, let me tell Jackknife. You know what? I just looked it up, and I don't know. Hell, Elite Dangerous may not be 4K on the Pro. I can't find it. So, well, hell, it may not be. Just double check it. I thought it was, but if it's not, it's not. It's 60 frames per second, for Christ's sake. So, and all you're doing is flying to space stations and to land. I get to land on planets, but yeah. I mean, again, back to what you were saying, Link. If there's a groundswell of people in the PlayStation community that want crossplay, then they will let Sony know about it. But right now, Sony's analytics say that's just not important. Not that I won't say that people don't want it, but it's just not something that they're driving the bus to. It's not the music they're listening to right now. So because they don't need it, they've got 80. I mean, I guess I played H1Z1, and I did not have any trouble finding people to play. This thing just started. Everybody was on an airplane or something. We all jumped out with these stupid parachutes, and then everybody gave out free smoke.
Right.
So,
I'm still baffled by this crossplay situation. First of all, if Sony doesn't get on board,
my thoughts on that because I got a video for it, so I'm actually gonna make fun of the situation. But,
well, I was actually going to bring up something that you said before, Ryan. First of all, I was going to say, for these people who want crossplay, why do they need Sony in there so bad for this thing to work? Crossplay,
Nintendo.
If it's meant to happen, it's going to go on with or without Sony.
Right.
Secondly, to to remind everybody of something that you said before, you know, that these X-thots are fighting for crossplay, but won't fight for exclusives.
Yep, that's true. Exclusives won't happen. Like, you won't get, they'll sit in podcasts 24/7. They'll point the finger at Sony for, you know, saying no to something that they don't benefit from at all. But, you know, hey, they're sitting here going, oh, we got games, and they look in the library and there's nothing. Then they'll complain like, well, it's anti-consumer, right, for Sony to have this. But answer me this: if they're so against anti-consumerism, right, why aren't they speaking up about Phil buying third-party devs? Isn't that anti-consumer?
Yeah,
doesn't that take away from Nintendo and PlayStation dudes? Isn't that anti-consumer?
This is true because
they don't know what that means.
See, they don't think like that, and that's why I laugh at the situation. And dudes want to, you know, come at me, but of course, Craig already know I don't scare half these dudes away, so I don't bother. I don't get involved.
Yeah, good point. Because you know, as far as the X-thots are concerned, these studios were bought with the intentions of being able to create exclusives, which I would have to buy that trash box in order to play them. Well, that's their mindset, but you know, because of the Play Anywhere, no, I won't need an Xbox. Yep. I guess from this standpoint, as long as it doesn't come to the Sony platform, that's good enough for them.
Yep, you already know. Hey, I'm gonna head on out. I gotta go ahead and do this thing real quick, but okay, hey, congratulations to you on 300 subs. Here's the 300 more. Keep pushing, man. Keep going forward.
I really appreciate it. How about you shout yourself out before you split?
No, Ryan the Professional. You guys can find me here on YouTube at Ryan the Professional. Good chunk, you already know me here, so I appreciate y'all stopping by, giving Clay here that love, man. He needs it. You know what I'm saying? Good YouTuber, good guy, and hopefully, you know, things continue to go the way they are going. Nothing but, you know, the best for him. So y'all be good, and I'll see you guys on my next video, which will be uploaded in a little bit. Got to record it, so I'll let y'all later. Craig.
Yep, thanks a lot, Ryan. And again, you know, I feel fortunate that, you know, that I'm good friends with a lot of my favorite YouTubers. So thanks to you, and shout out to the rest of my friends. I really appreciate that.
Anytime, bro. You be good. Later.
Yep, no doubt. Take it easy. All right, Craig. So what you got?
Oh, well, like I was saying, if there's as far as that crossplay thing, Bethesda is an independent developer, but they're more aligned with Microsoft. And again, Microsoft does need the crossplay because Phil Spencer or whoever need to walk out on stage and say, now you don't need to buy a Switch to play this game. You can just play with your friends on Switch with an Xbox, or you don't have to have a PlayStation to play said game. You can buy an Xbox and still play with your friends on PlayStation. So that's why they want it. I mean, that's why they want it. And Sony does not. It's not a need. It's what would be called it's an unnecessary risk, and it's not worth it. You know, Sony got to where they are with their PlayStation because they gave their fan base what they wanted. Mm-hmm. Nobody else. Nintendo's the same way. Microsoft had that, but they went away from it, and they had their reasons. That's fine. Didn't work out. So I understand why they want crossplay. I mean, I didn't used to before, but when I talked to a couple of friends of mine that, you know, they actually own small businesses, they run them. And they were like, no, you actually, and when I told them what Microsoft was saying, because they don't know nothing about the console stuff. And, you know, my friend that makes those high performance engine parts is like, man, look, it makes sense to want, if you're them, you're in the situation that they're in. Of course, you want to be able to come out and advertise, hey, look, you don't have to go to that shop to go get that. You can come here. You know, from a business standpoint, that's what he was looking at. You know, he didn't care it was Microsoft and Sony.
Yeah, so, but you point out that these friends of yours run small businesses, so it sounds to me if bigger business or other businesses are willing to bring them into the fold, then yeah, that definitely works for them. But we're talking about a major corporation who dollar for dollar has more money than Sony, but yet they're operating as if they're a small business.
Well, but understand it is a division to itself. So it literally, if Phil Spencer wants to walk out on a stage or sit down across from somebody in an interview and say, you no longer need a Nintendo system to play Mario. You can play Mario on an Xbox. And since it's cross-play, let's just say there was a Mario game that was online, and like the Mario driving game. And let's just say that was online. Now you no longer need to go buy a Nintendo to play that game. You can just play it on your Xbox with your friends on Nintendo. That's what Phil Spencer wants to be able to say. And that's good for them going forward. So I respect the fact that he's a businessman, is trying to do what's best for his company going forward. And again, they have analytical data, speaking Microsoft, that said, look, they would have sold more Xboxes, but people bought PlayStations because their friends had PlayStations. So when you get that kind of data put into your face, it's like, well, we have to create a scenario where they don't have to go buy a PlayStation. In this case, a PlayStation. So now it's, oh, well, if you do crossplay, you can still buy an Xbox and play with the people on PlayStation. That's what it's all about. And Bethesda, in this case, that's what they want. And they are more aligned with Microsoft than anybody. You don't hear Sony, you don't hear Quantic Dream saying that to Sony. Oh, well, you know what? We're going to make a game, and then this part of the game you're going to have to put on. It has to be crossplay. It's just I don't get why they're doing it. I get why they're doing it, but it's unfortunate they're doing it.
But I think I still think that I don't think I still stick to my guns that they want crossplay to devalue the PlayStation, to bring Sony down to their level, to stifle sales. Because if Sony gives in to crossplay, they're not going to sell 80 or 90 million consoles the next generation. It's going to be more like 30 or 40 or 50 million, because a lot of people won't need, two consoles. So they basically pick the console that they want and run with it. So I still believe that from Sony's standpoint, that doesn't make business sense. From Microsoft's standpoint, I think it's simple. Just give your fan base compelling content, and your sales will go up. I mean, it didn't happen for Sony overnight. They got off to a good start, but it's the exclusives that got them where they're at right now. Not because the standard PS4 has more power, or because it launched, $100 cheaper than the Xbox One. All that stuff is out of the window now. Everybody is where they're at now because of exclusives or lack thereof.
Yeah, I mean, it's a combination of a lot of things. But ultimately, it was the price. They hit the market at the right time, at the right price, and people had a little extra money, and they were like, and Rich with Review Tech. I mean, he pretty much was like, look, if you're Susie Joe from Timbuktu, and you walk in and you say, okay, what does the Xbox do and the PlayStation do? And the guy's going to say, well, they both play Blu-rays and they both play games. And then the next question is, well, why is one $100 cheaper? That's exactly what happened. And a lot of people bought the ones that was $100 cheaper. So, and shout out to Worry Wart, because he's 100% right. We are 5 years almost since the launch of the console. So people can't say the Xbox had a bad launch. They should have recovered by now, but they're going in 100 million different directions. And crossplay, I agree with you. It does devalue it adds value to everybody else. And but yeah, Microsoft is in a position where with Xbox, they have to keep creating consoles, and they don't want to have to do that. They just want to create one console that does it all, like the One Ring that Photo had, the one to rule them all. That's all they want.
Even if they did create a console that was an all-in-one console like they tried to do with the Xbox One, it wouldn't matter. They would still sell. They would still keep coming out with different consoles to sell them. Another Minecraft, this Xbox Scarlet, there's supposed to be a stream box. There's going to be a Minecraft version of that, or another one that does HDR 2.0, you know, so it doesn't matter what these, you know, they may come out, they may start out with 2 consoles the next generation, but they're going to make more. They're going to throw these little features and these little twists and turns in to keep pumping out more consoles. I mean, how many different versions of the Xbox One do we have this generation?
3. Yeah, you know, 3. So
I mean, you got the Xbox One, you got the Xbox One X, I mean, you got the Xbox One, the Xbox One S, the Xbox One X, and then and I don't know, and then, you know, I guess if you want to throw that in the mix, the Scorpio edition.
Well, that's still an Xbox X, but yeah, if you mean as far as different what kind of consoles they had, now that I do not know. I think Sony's actually this year alone they've had what? They had that blue console. They had a God of War console, the blue console at E3, the Slim, that blue Slim, the Spider-Man console. There's rumors of a Red Dead console. This is a rumor. It may not be true. So we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, but Sony's had more themed consoles, I believe, this gen.
But
I know they've had 4 or 5. They've had at least 4 or 5.
I'm still a little bit baffled, like the HDR support. I'm a little bit baffled why all Sony had to do was run an update through the vanilla PS4 to support HDR, and why Microsoft had to create a whole new console in order to have HDR.
Oh, well, HDR is software. So they just had
So it seems like they should have been able to do it with the Xbox One to send an update through, and then it supports HDR. But I believe this is
the original Xbox One was not going to support no HDR or nothing.
Probably not. That to me, that's Microsoft not thinking ahead.
Well, I don't disagree with that. Yeah, they did not. They got caught with their pants down when it came to. I mean, they really they built the S and the X with UHD to future-proof it in case people want to switch to UHD, put them in a new market. Now, UHD adoption rate is not where they thought it would be. I mean, me personally, I thought at this point UHD adoption would be at least 26 to 28%. It's not, but I think it's still below 18, and but that's all. Well, I mean, Sony could have put HDR through at the beginning of the generation. It was there for the PS4, but HDR was not standard on televisions at the time when the systems came out. I don't think HDR hit till maybe 2015, maybe. I can't really remember when. I know it was at the beginning of the generation. So, because at the beginning of the generation, it was 10. I had a 1080p. 1080p was the top TV, and maybe there was some. And of course, with plasmas and stuff like that, that's different. But the standard seemed to be full HD 1080p. I had a 240 hertz Samsung TV at the beginning, 5 years ago. Yeah. So now I have a 4K. So it's and there's nothing wrong with that. Shout out to Cycle Gamer. I think he's got the same TV I got. Samsung 7100, 49-inch. I mean, it's a beauty. It's a beauty. So
I'll be the first one to tell you that I got a budget 4K TV. Support Gaming, what is up? Eric Arazo, what is up? Don't call me Danny. Thank you very much. I make no bones about it, man. I have a Hisense. When I bought that Hisense, it wasn't a case of me being cheap. I got rid of my Vizio for that Hisense.
It's in the same range. Hisense, Vizio. Although I think, is it a Vizio P? I think the Vizio P series may be their topper. They have a top end one, but that TCL, I mean, a Hisense right now, I mean, you can get a good 4K 10-bit encrypted HDR Hisense TV for like $399.
So I got the 6 series. Don't get me wrong; they have their high end stuff too. I mean, they got the $1,000, $1,200 TVs too. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, well, their 6 series may only have 8-bit HDR encryption on it. Maybe I'm not for sure.
Well, that's what I got is the 6 series, the H6 series. But like I had a Vizio D series. It was a 4K TV. It did not support HDR, and so how I ended up getting the Hisense is when the Xbox One X was revealed, my son asked me, can I have a Xbox One X? Yeah. He was then, but the 12-year-old kid is on top of that stuff. He was like, are you going to give me an HD 4K TV too? Because, I need that as well. Yeah. So we're in Walmart and he was like, are you still going to buy me a 4K TV? And I was like, So I said, let me get that TV right there, because I had saw a couple of videos on the Hisense, and it actually looked pretty good for how cheap it was. So I said, let me get that TV.
Yeah.
And I brought it home. It was a 50-inch. I brought it home. I plugged my PlayStation Pro into it because it is HDR compatible. I guess it's like a fake HDR, whatever you want to call it. But when I plugged my PlayStation Pro up into that console, onto that TV, and I was playing Battlefield 1, it looked like I was playing it from a computer monitor. I was blown away. I was like, this TV is too cheap to look this good. So I had a 50-inch Philips in my bedroom. I sold that and bought a 55-inch Hisense, and then my 65-inch Vizio 4K TV, I sold that and got a 65-inch Hisense. So I'm a happy camper. Yes, a budget TV, but hey, I'm a happy camper.
Yeah, no, it does support HDR. I just don't know if because usually the 6 series of any TV, it only supports the 8-bit HDR, which is HDR, but it's not like true HDR. It's like it's fake HDR, but I don't see it on here. I'm looking at the Walmart's thing, and it doesn't say what it does. It does say it supports HDR, but it doesn't say anything else. But it's ultra smooth motion, so that's their version, maybe.
Yeah, that was the one thing I gave up when I got rid of that Vizio, is that I gave up the 120 hertz.
Yeah. Well, our the US grid is only at 60, so it's it does say high dynamic range processing. Yeah, this doesn't say what the encryption is, but it does have it. It does have it. So, but some TVs using the 6, like I know the 6 series Samsungs, I had one that was fake HDR. I mean, that's how I can flat out say that was fake HDR.
Right.
So I don't know about Hisense, but Hisense is made in China.
But it's that at the time that I bought that TV, I had learned that they are the 3rd largest TV manufacturer in the world. So they may not be known here, but they're known all over the world. OBJ to Don, my next TV is probably going to be a Samsung. I mean, because before I bought that Hisense, I originally planned to buy a Samsung curved TV, 65-inch curved TV, but it didn't have HDR because at the time that I bought that Hisense, a lot of the lower end TVs were just now starting to get HDR, but there was TVs out there like Insignia and shit like that hadn't had HDR yet. So Hisense was one of the few budget TVs that had it. So yeah,
and they are. I mean, it's a good TV. Now let's see here's a Hisense. Look at it now. 50-inch R7 series. Ooh, yeah, black. Ooh, it actually looks pretty good. So it's $329.99 at Best Buy. You all need to go get that now. You quit listening to my voice and go get that right now.
Which TV? Whoa, which TV is this?
That's a Hisense. That's the R7 series. So yeah, this is at Best Buy. So and Best Buy always gets a little bit better brand and Walmart and Target and TCL was good too. I saved somebody at the store at Best Buy the other day. Saved this brother. He was about to buy a 6 series LG. I'm like, nah, bro, get that Hisense. Pay that extra $62 and get that Hisense. Oh, no, I'm sorry, get the TCL. I talked him into the TCL. So, but yeah, this one is $329, 50-inch, the R series. So
see, I got a 55-inch in the bedroom, so that's what so I got a 55-inch in the bedroom and a 65-inch in the living room. Well, my Vizio before that was 65 inches, and my Philips that in the bedroom was a 50-inch, and that's because the way my bedroom was arranged at the time, 50-inch was probably about as big as I could go. But then once I, moved my bedroom around a little bit, that allowed me to put a 55-inch 55-inch in there. Shit, I would have with a 60, but as small as my bedroom is, it would have lit the whole damn apartment complex up.
Well, now you're talking right there. Yeah, this 7 series right here I'm looking at, it does have 10-bit HDR.
Hey,
that's not bad. $329. God, dog, that's actually a good price for this TV.
OBJ the Don. I might be willing to go ahead and sell the TV in my bedroom and give that TCL a try that you're talking about. But one of the big issues that I'm facing is that in my Xbox One is in my bedroom, so my 4K TV in the bedroom is not being taken full advantage of. Shit is not in 4K. The Xbox One does not support HDR, so and I don't want to drop the money to get another PlayStation or another PlayStation Pro because I'm planning on buying another PlayStation VR here soon.
Now you're talking.
So, but I really am, but I don't know. You know what? That could change. I could turn around and find a PlayStation on Craigslist and get one that way because I don't even use my damn Xbox. I use it to watch YouTube. The only time I play something is when I'm telling you, Craig, the only reason I have not gotten rid of that Xbox One in my bedroom is because of game share, and I still and I still play Gears of War with my son. If it wasn't for that, hey, OBJ, that you might be making a joke about that, but that's not too far away from the truth because the fact of the matter is, I had both consoles, like, in the beginning, I had, my vanilla PS4 and my Xbox One on my 65-inch TV in the living room. But I put the Xbox in the bedroom because it was not getting any playtime, being, butted up against that PlayStation on the same TV. So I put it in the bedroom so I would try to play it, play a little bit before I go to bed. But I can't even do that. I just throw on YouTube and let it put me to sleep. So yes, you are right. Even though it's a joke, yes, I do that.
So yeah, these are some good TVs, but yeah, this I gotta keep it a buck here. I'm really looking at this Hisense TV now with some because I have to go to Best Buy tomorrow anyway and get my movie. Now, I may have to take a look at this thing.
Now, here's the thing. You're not going to find out. You're probably not going to find out how good that Hisense is because one of the things that I've noticed in places like Best Buy, all the other high-end stores is that in terms of actual video playing, it's the Sonys and the Samsungs and shit like that where they only actually showing video. The Philips, the Hisenses, the LGs and shit like that, they only showing still photos. They're not showing actual video. And I've come to the conclusion that the reason why they're probably doing that, like if you go into Best Buy and you see like that TLC or something like that and see the good picture on that TLC, you might be willing to buy that for $500 versus that Samsung they were trying to sell you for $1,300. So
that's true.
By putting a still photo on the TLC and putting actual moving video on a Samsung, it leads the customer to believe that there's a night and day difference between the two TVs.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, yeah. That's why I tell people you got to know what to look for when you walk in there, because you will spend $500 extra and not get that much of a difference. So, yeah. Now I'm coming back to the thing, but no, they've that's hilarious. Yeah. Yeah, I gotta go to Best Buy tomorrow. So shit, I'm gonna really have to look at this television because that actually is kind of tickling my fancy. They even have a 43. I mean, they have a 43-inch one. If I can get 43 inches, that'd be real. That'd be nice with the 10-bit encryption on it.
Shit, man, I can't get that shit out of my system because, matter of fact, if I did go that route and sold the TV in my bedroom and went and got that TLC that OBJ talking about, I would throw a 60-inch in there.
60-inch TCM
in my bedroom. I would throw a 60-inch in there. The way I rearranged my TV now, the way I got it sitting on, because I got these two tables, like, you know, these two glass corner tables, and my TV is sitting on that because, you know, most TVs these days, the legs are spread out on the end instead of sitting on a podium in the center.
Yeah.
So because of that,
a lot of you know that. Now go ahead, keep going.
Yeah,
I was going to these TVs. You're going to spend some coin on these TVs in this chat.
Hell, you know. Now the 65-inch that I got in the living room, the only reason why I didn't go bigger when I bought that TV is because the glass TV stand that I have was only wide enough to support, you know, basically a 65-inch TV. Because of them putting the legs on the outside of the TV these days, if I would have went to a 70-inch or a 75-inch TV, the legs would have been too wide to sit on that stand. So as it stands, you know, so as it sits, this glass stand that I have, I can only basically go as wide as 65 inches. Yeah. Nice stand though. Shit, there's a stand that normally costs like $300. It's like a 3-level glass TV stand, and it normally sold for about $300. I bought this thing clearance at Circuit City when they was going out of business for $50.
Yeah, that going out of business sale. That's where I got my something called Beats by Dre headphones.
Oh yeah, so, I know those things cost a grip. How much did you get them for?
$79, and that was the studio ones, the studio headset. They were normally like $239 or $249.
Oh shit!
So then Jamal Adams said he has a Sony X900. Yeah, that 900E. I tried to buy that TV, and when it went on sale, I didn't have the money for it. I had the money for it for like a month. I'm like, man, shit, I'm just gonna go and get something else. And I got a couple other things, and then I walked in there, and that damn thing was on sale out of box. They had that damn thing on sale. It's somebody's got a 50-inch or 49-inch 800E. Yeah, that 8 and 900E are both nice. Those are nice. Sony makes a good TV. Yeah, that TCL PC too. It's just y'all have to know what to look for. And when you get to Sony and Samsung, you're going to be paying. Samsung's TVs are so damn bright when you put it in dynamic. It's like it blows you away. And then with the Q series, it's even brighter.
Yeah, I think Gunru has one of those quantum dot TVs.
Yeah, and they're nice. I mean, they're nice. I mean, but my God, they're so friggin' bright. I mean, even in the standard setting, it's bright. It is super bright. But yeah, I'm jealous of that 900E. Yeah, and what's the X930D? I've not heard of that one. What about that A9, the A1E or A something E that Sony's got? My God, that TV's like $1,800. I'm like, man, that TV is gorgeous. So, I mean, it is. Samsung TVs are oversaturated. Are you talking about as far as the market or the color? Are you talking about the color? Yeah, the market though.
Have you heard of this guy, Mr. 4K Upscaler?
Yeah.
I've seen a couple of his videos, and he was like, you know, shit, from the comparisons that he's done and from what he said, it looks like kind of like where OBJ the Don said is shit. You know, you can get quality out of the TCLs, you know, that,
yeah,
to put it bluntly, the TCL wasn't too far away from the Samsung.
Yeah. Well, when he was playing, I think Mass Effect Andromeda, he was playing it on a Samsung TV, and his settings that he used, that's what I use for Andromeda. And yeah, he nailed that saturation to the last nit. Mm-hmm. And that's why I was taking those pictures like with this is the superior console. Because my God, you were on those planets and you took it with the shadowing and the sun and where the mountains were, and I had everybody outside of the little vehicle that they had. I'm like, my God, this is one of the best looking games I've seen in my life. It's too bad the story is garbage. But yeah.
A couple things real quick. OBJ to Don. All right, we'll see you later, OBJ to Don. I'm getting ready to shut it down pretty soon myself so I can go stream Bravo Team. I'm hoping to try to finish that shit tonight, but if I don't, I'll probably do it Wednesday. But I'm definitely gonna stream something here shortly. And what else we got? Ian Robinson, thank you so much. Great show. There was something else. I was reading somebody else's comment that I meant to respond on, but yeah, I'll be ready to shut it down here in a few minutes myself so I can stream. And another break that I caught is I normally have to be I was going in at 5 o'clock. So now, the work's done slowed down enough that they told us we can come in at 6 now. So that gives me another hour to stay up. Oh, that's good. That's what I was going to say right there. Spartan God said nobody touching LG. Spartan God, I thought, I thought LG was one of those TVs that had an excellent picture that didn't cost the arm and the leg. But the biggest reason why I didn't buy the LG is because when the PlayStation Pro first launched, there was issues with it. I experienced it firsthand. I was hearing about the screen being black on the LG TVs. I sampled it for myself. One of my friends had bought an LG, and at the time that he bought that LG, I had never seen what HDR was. So his TV had HDR, and I took my PlayStation Pro over to his place to hook it up so I could see it, and that's exactly what we got, was a black screen. So I will be furious if I drop $1,500 on an LG TV and I get a black screen.
Was it just a monitor? Because LG's selling the TV, they're just monitors. They're selling them cheap. People think they're TVs, and then they're selling you a $250 antenna. And it's like, well, damn, I don't know who's doing it. It may not be LG, but somebody's just selling a monitor with an antenna. Mm-hmm. And that's a ripoff, because you might as well just go ahead and get the Sony 800 series. I mean, if you're going to spend that money on a I can't remember which one it is though. I have to go find out. Jacob Walker said Bethesda is a joke. I mean, I like Bethesda.
Yeah, Jay, I didn't mean to cut you off there. Yes. See, that put me in a precarious position because, yes, Bethesda is a joke. But before all this mess came up, there's a little situation with the Skyrim VR. I was curious about it, but I was not going to spend $60 on it. So last week I was at the store and I caught it on sale for $25, and I played it for a little bit. I played it for about 45 minutes and I streamed it. And I was like, okay, I'm going to play it some more, and I'll stream it more, so everybody can check it out. But now this situation right here, that one man had the balls to try to tell an entire corporation how to run itself. Mm-hmm. I don't know if I'm going to play Skyrim VR again, because I would feel like a hypocrite the way I lashed out at Bethesda and then turn around and play, Skyrim VR.
Well, I mean, again, I mean, realistically, for me, it is not a big deal, because the worst case scenario is that Bethesda says, I'm talking about Bethesda proper, says, you know what? Because Sony won't support crossplay, we will no longer put games on their system. That is the worst thing they can say. And Sony will tell them to go kick rocks.
Exactly.
Because, there'll just be one more studio and they won't care, because they'll just go out and get another studio to replace them. That's what I have.
And at the end of the day, Sony got to where they're at. Sony sold 80 million consoles by following their own blueprint, by following their own formula, not the demands of a Microsoft flunky.
Yeah. Yeah, and again, Bethesda, and look, they have a right to say what they want. Bethesda, though, they're closer to Microsoft than anything else. And I thought it was funny. It was a card game, and it's just them trying to push to say, hey, look, how come you all aren't doing this, and blah 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 this. And the truth is that it's a dead issue, because I remember, what did Sean Layton say? Well, we're looking into it, and now nobody's talking about it. So.
But to me, it's still part of the smear campaign spearheaded by Microsoft.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, they got to do something. I mean, that's all I can say. They got to do something. It's the little kid on the blocks screaming, and that's why I'm kind of like, well, they're not going to do it, and they do crossplay, They just do it with PC and mobile devices. They're not going to do it with another console.
Exactly, and that's what people are failing to realize. At least those toxic ones over there failing to realize that Sony, in fact, Sony does crossplay more than Microsoft does. Like you said, they do it with the PC.
Yeah, that is true. And once that number came out, the people shut up about it. But yeah, I thought it was funny. Even Bethesda saying the stuff that they said, it's not really burning up Twitter. People are just kind of like, whatever. You know, they're in a position where they don't need to do it. And will it bite them in the ass? Maybe. If nobody goes out and buys PS5, then people can say, well, it's because you don't have crossplay or backwards compatibility. That would make sense. But meanwhile, they've announced how many consoles they've sold. They don't have crossplay. You know, they offered crossplay last gen. Microsoft said no, had every right to say no. So to me, it's just not that. It's not that big a deal. So, but yeah, that's pretty much all I got to say about that.
You know, if Microsoft was a third party company, which it looks like eventually they will become a third party, a software company, and they were trying to push crossplay under those circumstances, because yes, it would make them a ton of money trying to join everybody, trying to connect everybody. But in this case, it's not a case of them trying to make money. It's about them trying to bring the competition down to their level, since they don't want to step it up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And for that, I think they're a bunch of bitches.
Yeah, well, they are. I mean, that's I don't like I said. That's a perfect way to look at it. I've said before that it makes perfect sense why they want crossplay. It's just that they need to partner with it, and Sony's not going to dance with them. They're going to
let me respond to Spartan God. He said, to be honest, if Microsoft went third. No. This is the one I'm looking at. Unless Fallout 76 and Doom Eternal are being held off on PlayStation, unless Sony do crossplay, then I believe them. The fact of the matter is, Spark God, it was a card game. It was a card game, a mobile game. I don't think they ever intended to bring the shit to the PlayStation in the first place. I think that's just, I think they're just, putting on the big song and dance, trying to make Sony look bad and, holding Microsoft's balls in the first place. Basically, the way I'm looking at this is the equivalent of, the Candy Crush people telling Sony, if you don't do crossplay, our game's not coming to your console. It never intended to come to your console in the first place. It's a mobile game. So I don't think they ever intended to bring it to the PlayStation in the first place. And I think the only reason they might bring it to the Xbox is to further help Microsoft with their smear campaign and say, see, it's on the Xbox, but it's not on the PlayStation because they wouldn't do crossplay, whatever. But fact of the matter is, I don't think this shit ever intended to go to the PlayStation, to begin with, because I think this card game is the equivalent of trying to bring Candy Crush to the PlayStation. Maybe the game may end up being a huge hit amongst mobile gamers, and maybe PCers, but this shit ain't gonna fly with console gamers.
I agree. It's it is what it is. Like I said, it's a 1.5 day story. I thought it was funny when I first, like I said, I won't be buying another Bethesda game, and the only game I would probably really look forward to would be Wolfenstein, the new one that would be coming out. So, but I've got Fallout 3, I've got Fallout 4, I've got Oblivion, backwards compat. So I'm good. Those are my favorite games that they made. Bethesda made. I do like Doom. I'm an old school Doom fan, but it's just it'd be something I won't be playing. It's not the end of my world. I got plenty more to play from this XCOM game. I'm in sequences in, and so once I'm done with that, I'll be really jumping down on Madden kicking my ass. So I'll probably.
Oh, you know what? Not to cut you off, but it's 10:30 right now. I'll do it tomorrow. I'm not going to buy Madden. But I will rent it, because I mentioned that we've got a, family video. There's a family video a couple of miles from where I live. I will rent Madden and I'll play you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, let me know.
Absolutely. We can stream it.
Yeah, well, that'd be fun. Yeah, the smoke.
Yeah, we played the baseball game before, and I think that was a huge success, and then the two games I had with Porter Rock last night was a huge success. So yeah, but I had said that I had planned to do that more to try to reach out to my YouTuber friends and play, because at the end of the day, we're all gamers. This is what we're here for. And, and I think, if you're a gamer, you should show it, I think every once in a while, every YouTuber should stream a game just to show people that they play them.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And I think that'd be pretty good for us to get a game of Madden in and give the viewers an entertaining game.
Yeah, well, that'd be fun. Yeah, just let me know. Yeah, I'm off tomorrow and I'm off the weekend, so just let me know. That's cool.
Okay, I'll rent the game tomorrow, but you said you're off tomorrow, and when it was the next day?
I'm off tomorrow, and according to the schedule, I'm off Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So, but I'm gonna have to check that because I'm missing a day. If I'm looking at the schedule right, I'm missing a day. So,
okay,
I have to work Wednesday, Thursday. Yeah, that's what it is. I have to work Wednesday,
okay,
Thursday.
so from where I'm sitting, Saturday might be the best day because unless we do it early afternoon, we got the Roundtable podcast tomorrow at 9:00, and then you work Wednesday and Thursday. Friday night is date night. Girl, I'm dating. We get together. We do something every Friday night, and then Saturday would be the best day to do it.
Yeah, that's fine. Yes, just hit me up, and we'll try to set it on up there. That's cool.
That'll work. What team you roll with?
Oh, right now I'm using the Bengals right now. I'm just trying to learn how to run the ball in practice. So yeah, it's fun.
Okay. I want to comment on one more thing. The Spartan guy might be gone already because he already said later. But he made a comment that EA said they support crossplay, but notice they've yet to talk about it. Every time good PlayStation news comes out, crossplay is brought up. That's ironic because just a couple of days ago, the hot news was the translucent PS4 Pro and Sony celebrating 500 million, PlayStation sold. Couple days later, we got this shit. So that is a very good observation, Spartan God.
Yeah.
So, but hey, I'm not surprised. So the big question is towards the end of this month, as we draw closer to Spider-Man and the hype is at fever pitch, what kind of news will come out that will try to smear Sony?
Well, I mean, you're seeing their fanboys run to Rise of the Tomb Raider game, and then Red Dead on how they're going to be so significantly better. I think that's it. They haven't seen they haven't seen the hype really start yet. It's really going to start next week when all those comic trades start really picking up on it. They had a gameplay trailer today that was picked up on some things because they're covering more comic releases and stuff like right now. But starting next week, they're going to be full bore going at it because starting next week we're 3 weeks away from release. Starting next month. So that's when you're going to start seeing most of it. But I've told people that the closer we got to release, the dumber the statements we're going to get. And I mean, damn if they didn't deliver. That's all I can say.
You know what else would be nice? I don't think it'll happen because it's just not big enough. But 2 weeks from tomorrow will be the release of Firewall 0 Hour of the PlayStation VR. Y'all know y'all gonna hear me say something about that, here and there. But if this game turns out to be a smash, and it actually moves some VR units off the shelf, I wonder if that would make a couple of Xbox say go back to Microsoft and was like, hey, wait a minute, what happened to that VR promise?
Yeah, well, they're not doing it. Yeah.
Because I think Firewall has the potential. There's no question this game is going to move some PlayStation units off the shelf. But if this game is not broken and it's everything they say that it is, and then Sony were to turn around and have a sale and sell the PlayStation, for $200, I think they would have the potential to maybe you move another, 50,000 units or something like that, which would make a little bit of a small splash. So I wonder if it would make the Xbots, some of those Xbots who were looking forward to VR over there, I wonder if that would make them, go back to feel like, hey, wait a minute, what happened? Mod Razi, they say the VR market is shrinking, but according to Valve, it's the opposite. The fact of the matter is that I truly believe that if it weren't for Sony, the VR market would be on life support right now, because not because it's a bad thing, it's because it's expensive. Because from what I was understanding, it was going to take at least $1,000 to build a PC strong enough to push VR. And then at the time that the PlayStation VR first came out, it was $500, and people thought that was pretty steep, but they didn't know that Oculus was $600 and Vive was $700. And so I think, the PlayStation VR, especially now, it gives them a very affordable option. Hell, if you're lucky enough, you can catch, you can catch a PlayStation on sale for $200, and then if you're lucky enough, you can catch the VR for $200. So you just bought an entire VR setup for the price of less than a headset. So I think if it weren't for Sony, because they're dominating the VR market right now. I don't know what the numbers are right now, but the last time I heard some numbers, like way back in February, they were sitting on like 2.5 million headsets sold. And that was still more than Oculus and Vive combined. So I dare say that if it wasn't for Sony getting into the VR market, VR would be on life support right now. But I think for what Sony has planned for the PS5 and the next generation, I think it's going to take VR to the next level. And I just hope it resonates with with PS5 console owners.
Yeah.
So I'm really big on this VR thing. I have high hopes for Firewall, and I have high hopes for what Sony has planned the next generation. From what I understand, there's a company right now working on a lens for the PlayStation VR, 2. The next generation of it that's supposed to be better than anything that's out there right now. And I've already sampled Vive for myself, and I can tell you that shit is clear. So if that's the case, then we definitely can expect much better visuals from the next generation of VR from Sony.
Yeah, I heard that. Well, I tell you what, bro, I'm gonna jump off here. I'm gonna watch a little bit of this Tomb Raider gameplay, and then I'm gonna probably turn in.
Okay. Well, I'm getting ready to jump over to Bravo Team. A couple of the people in the chat said they're looking forward to my Bravo Team's stream, so I got to deliver on that. So that's what I'm going to do. I really enjoy doing that, and I've said that before. That's one of the reasons why I haven't been active in pursuing YouTubers to do the Lincoln Show, because it is a lot of work, especially now that I'm back in the gym, trying to go to the gym 2-3 times a week. So I'm killing two birds with one stone. I'm getting my gaming fix in, and I'm still interacting with the community.
Yeah. But I streamed some XCOM earlier, and people were watching. So yeah, some people said they had it and they didn't realize what it was. I'm like, oh, this is it.
Well, and what were you playing? Because I saw you were streaming a game, but I was at work, so I couldn't really watch it. But what was it?
Oh, yeah, XCOM 2.
Okay.
So, yeah, XCOM 2. It was on the PS Now about a month ago. So yeah. This Tomb Raider game didn't look bad.
Nah. So with that being said, I'll go ahead and give him this send off. Savage Uger, thanks. You said in the stream so we can see a Bravo Team. All right. All right. I'll get it on here in a few minutes. But I definitely want to thank everybody for the support. This is huge for me, hitting 300 subs. I really appreciate it. 300 friends. I will look at it that way. And, and even though I didn't dive as deep into this Randall Thor thing that I wanted to, because I didn't dive that deep into it, because when I first thought about doing this, I was going to have some rather harsh words, but I try to keep it as professional as possible. So I didn't go too hard at it because I know you have a lot of respect for him, Craig, and I know that Ryan is friends with him. So I didn't want to go all in on him, but
he's pretty level-headed. I haven't heard what he said, but he's pretty. I mean, he actually came on my podcast, and I only had like 400 subs at the time. So yeah, but he is much more level-headed than the other people you're going to find in that community. Now there's another YouTuber again. He was a big Xbox guy. I think Worry Ward, and I'm efforting to try to get him to come on my podcast because he said something last year to Rand Outdoor. He said, "Do you really think a third-party game on the Xbox is going to look better than a first-party game on the PlayStation?" And that was bored out. That's what it literally has been bored out. So yeah. But yeah, I understand what you're saying. Mm-hmm. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so go ahead and shout yourself out. We'll go ahead and close it down so I can and then I'll move on over to Bravo team.
All right, then. Yeah, shout out, man. Shout out to Ryan the Professionals, Craig Harris. Go check out Ryan's content, and congratulations again, Mr. Lincoln Clay. You deserve it, and just everybody keep it gaming. And yeah, the Spider-Man, things are going to get worse because the Spider-Man game is really that's giving them warts. That's all I can say. That's giving them and they won't let it go. And I just saw a tweet where somebody said something about let me know when it's 4K, and somebody put underneath there they've already confirmed it's 4K. So it was funny. But shout out to everybody in the chat that came through, and I hit that like button for my man Lincoln Clay. And yeah, I'm out of here. Appreciate it.
All right, thanks for coming by, my friend. I really appreciate that. And again, to everybody in the chat, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for the support. Thanks for the likes. Thanks for the views. I really appreciate it. Again, I said it a while back that I have far exceeded my expectations for this channel. All I ever wanted to do was have enough subs that, whenever I stream, that I can carry on the conversation with everybody. And I far exceeded that, and I really appreciate it. With that being said, for my guests, Craig Harris and Ryan the Professional, I want to thank them for coming by. And that's going to do it for us. We'll see you in a few minutes on Bravo Team. This is your boy Lincoln Clay, and I'm out. We'll catch you later.